Good morning.
Morning.
I actually slept in. It's rough sleeping in. I feel worse.
It's not rough. It feels great.
No, it's rough.
Not very often I wake up to you actually still in bed next to me. It's kind
I
of
was
like,
tired. I don't know. Yesterday, there's a lot of plants to transplant. I'm still not done.
Yeah, yesterday was our
Sunday fun day, but
gardening, trying to anyways. Like,
mishmash of.
yeah,
But that's usually what it is. We just kind of regroup and just kind of sometimes we do chores together. Sometimes we divide and conquer. And yesterday was one of those. A little bit of both.
yeah, we wanted to go get the rabbits, but I still need to get the metal on the roof. And
As stressed out as rabbits get, I didn't want to try like screwing in metal into their hutches while they were inside and stress them out.
right, and the wind was blowing. I wasn't gonna try to fight metal.
Gale force winds.
Yeah,
Hurricane.
Yesterday'd be the day you could have broke a land speed record
With a sail, yeah.
with a hot air balloon.
So today we're gonna finish up the rabbit hutch. Doesn't seem to be as windy. I also did laundry yesterday, but found out our little washer is on its final journey.
Yeah.
4 years of really working it hard. He took it apart and tightened the belt as best as he could, and then it worked like a dream again. And then by the time I was done running another 5 or 6 loads through it, which that's 5 or 6 towels, it was done for again. So
Yeah, I mean, you gotta, when you're doing one towel, it doesn't, it's not a heavy load, but it takes forever, one towel at a time. And,
yeah,
what was it that well, my overalls really.
your overalls is what kills it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because they're not heavy to me to wear them, I mean, there's a lot, it's a lot of a jean material, and then you soak that down, and yeah, they'll strain any good washing machine, let alone one made of pure plastic. So
For $100. Damn. But it's been great. Like, I've always swore by that thing. I'll always give it good marks, and it's served us well. So the sooner we can get the tiny house done, the better.
Yeah, it's looking like a beautiful day, though. You know?
It's supposed to be
We
sunny.
had those few days, we've done the morning chats here that we didn't do it on Sunday. I think Sundays are going to be our day of rest, right?
Well, that, and I explained that we were already one day ahead because of the change of the channel we had done too.
Yeah, and
We wanted these to come out the day,
right, these will be same day, and
Yeah.
I was hoping to have a video come out on the main channel this morning, but I don't know, I was up till, well, we were both up, but I mean, I was editing till
trying to stay awake to just be with you.
Yeah, 10:30, almost 11 o'clock last night, and only got halfway through trying to work on the footage for the rabbit hutch build. So, but we should get that buttoned up today.
I'll get it painted
And
to where it matches the rest of White Rock Homestead, and
we overbuilt it, I'm sure, and I don't know, it may need to add some ventilation. Like everywhere that we've seen, people that are raising meat rabbits, they're just metal cages hanging underneath a roof. And
I mean, I know they're gonna be food, but I've always been a good steward of my animals, and if they need a bougie hotel for while they're here, then they're gonna get it.
as long as their meat tastes good,
Right. Yeah.
they
And
can stay at the Hilton.
I was trying to figure out how to, fake board and batten it without it popping through to hurt the rabbits. So not sure if I'm going to be able to add battens or if I'm just going to paint it out. It's going to get a little decor. Yeah, I need to find some little decorator pieces to make the rabbits happy yet.
The rabbits happy, yeah. Decorated chicken coop to make the chickens, eh?
Why not? And I don't know if it's in its final resting place.
Should we kill it?
Yeah, I mean, once we get a little bit more infrastructure done, we can move it, or, I don't know. But I mean, I think where it's at right now, it's going to get all the shade. It'll get a little bit of morning sun, which isn't bad. She come waddling over.
Tell you, if you've never watched chickens in the yard, like when they run is the most hilarious thing.
Yeah, but yeah, everything's gonna be kind of in this little area here. Wasn't what I had in my brain when we first sought out for land, but neither was the land. I thought we'd have pasture area and
Yeah.
not like everything's a hill, which we love. We're at the top of the peak, so I'm at the top of the world looking.
Oh, it's too early for all that.
I know.
No, we'll get there eventually. It's gonna be fun. I know I've mentioned it before, like we've already went back and watched videos that we see stuff. So in 5 or 10 years from now, it's gonna be crazy to see how much further we're are now. So I think
we get the rabbit hutch done today. We go get the rabbits, and you started stringing up wires.
I did start some stuff on getting the wiring. Just about all the boxes are in for wiring up the tiny house. I did run into a dilemma yesterday, and then luckily the old interwebs helped me out. We bought cable, discounted, from Marketplace, literally half price, for the big cable to run power from the pole to the tiny house, and it's a long enough strand. So I went ahead and drilled a hole through the wall, or through the floor or whatnot, and ran the wire in and went to hook it up in the breaker panel, and all of a sudden it turned Chinese. I went, something wrong. What happened, the cable is too big. I'm not gonna bore you with cable sizes, but basically the cable is about the size of a nickel, a big around, and it needs to be the size of a dime. And it doesn't seem like a lot until you go to try to shove wire, and it's solid wire, and you can't bend it the greatest because it's pretty good sized stuff. So, but there's adapters.
Claritin is not working.
I don't even take any of it, but there are adapters to reduce the size down and then wrap it. So when we go to town, I've got to get those and
we have a chick
some
out.
special tape. And of course we do. All right, well, you talk to them. I guess I'm going to put a chicken.
We have, they sometimes find a way. I'm not sure because Jake buttoned it up pretty tight. They're the cutest things, though. Oh, he's got to catch it. He missed.
Don't get out.
Sounds like he got it.
The bottom chain wasn't on.
That would be my fault from when I put him away last night. Sorry. Oh, we need to move so transport in the rabbits. So we are going to be putting the Rhode Island red roosters that we still have sequestered in the big cage inside the chicken coop. We're going to be taking that and putting the does in the big one. And then we have a pet carrier for the buck. And we were talking about, in my brain, I was like, we'll rotate the litters. So we'll, get one of the does pregnant and rotate her out. And then 30 days later, try to stagger the litters. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. I never staggered my chickens to butcher. Like, why wouldn't you do full? I mean, if you're going to set everything up to butcher, and I get elaborate when I butcher because I'm a safety health nut and germs and stuff. So
Germs are good. I like them. They taste great.
yeah. So if you're going through all that trouble to set up your stations and get the bleach water and the coolers bleed. If you're going through all of that to butcher, why wouldn't you butcher two batches? So I think once we get them here, I'll give them a week to get settled in, and then we'll go ahead and let the buck do its job, I think. See if we can get some rabbits in freezer camp or in the canning jars before it gets too hot that it's not going to be safe to.
Yeah, we've done the research, watching videos, doing a little reading, and the whole idea is not to stress your animals out. If they're stressed out all the time, and it doesn't matter what kind of animal it is, if it's constantly stressed out, it's not going to taste as good, and it's not going to...
The panic hormone.
It won't grow as well either. So, trying to get them in a non-stress free, and then the summers here, I mean, we haven't been through it personally, but...
Yeah, we chose Arkansas
to avoid wintertime, and we're going to get polar opposites.
Well, no, we've just
summer.
never, ever experienced Arkansas in the summer.
Right.
Ever. We've spent all of our years here in the wintertime, and we figured, well, if we love it in the winter, we should love it in the summer,
Well,
too.
and that was our big... I don't know, for me, that was the big thing of moving south anyways, was getting away from the really harsh winters. They just mentally, physically, emotionally, everything about the long winters up north took a real toll on me, I know for sure. And so it was one of those that, if for anything, for my mental health alone, but my body feels better, like that object up there in the sky, that beautiful sun.
That makes a world of difference.
Yeah, and most people do, you may or may not realize, but yeah, my body thrives off that daily contact of the sun and sunlight, and so getting going and moving and stuff like that is much better down here. And hopefully it's still a pretty temperate summers. We don't know.
I heard subtropical, and I'm good with that.
Yeah, and I imagine it's probably going to be hot and humid, and I lived in Georgia for 3 years, and surprisingly, being in Georgia was more humid than in North Carolina when I was on the coast. We were right at the ocean in North Carolina, and...
What is it?
Caterpillar. Oh, wait a minute. I just threw it on the ground. I didn't feed it to the chickens. Where'd it go?
I figure out how I got a caterpillar in my hair.
Well, I lost it. Good job, genius.
Oh, giving him a butt shot.
False alarm. Here we go. I just threw a caterpillar over there. Go eat it. Probably out of that tree right above you. So, but yeah, definitely hot, or more. It was more humid in Georgia than North Carolina somehow. So I don't know what it'll be like here. I mean, we'll live through it either way. We'll have to pick up the habit. A lot of the channels that we watch that do live in this region have said that, get up early and get all your work done before like 9, 10 a.m. and then find a shady, cool spot to work or do what you're going to do during the day, or do your running or whatever, and then come back in the evening and you can finish up what you were working on outside, because it'll be so dumb hot. So we'll figure it out. I know we will. We always do. So,
well, once we have the kayaks here, and if we choose to get another boat, that's usually what we do after we get our hard stuff done. But we're both awful when it comes to being on the water, because we'll look at everything we have to do and be like, you just want to go to the river?
yeah.
And then neither of us are like being the responsible parent going, no, we really should just stay here and work. No, we're both just like,
nobody got time for that kind of adulting. No.
And so like stuff will go on the wayside, so that we can go kayak. that's why when we lived at the river, it was just, yeah, it
We
was
loved
beautiful.
it. And I mean, we could walk right to the dock and get on the boat and take off and
Or kayak right off the.
right. And launch the
Spend the
kayaks
day.
from right there. And we were hoping to find a spot a lot like that here. But unfortunately, just the way that waterways work around here, with everything being owned up by the Army Corps of Engineers, which in a way we're grateful
It's
for.
so
and
much more beautiful.
Yeah, we're excited to get out on the water because, you know, Arkansas, right? Natural state. That's their whole point and goal. And at first we were like, man, that's crazy. Why can't you put a, you know, if
We
you own
wanted
property on the
waterfront,
water, you can't put a dock in. Like, why would you buy that? And but then you stop for a second and you think and, you know, swallow what you just said and go, well, you're an idiot. Why would you say such a thing? You know, we love nature and being outdoors. And so to be able to take a cruise, you know, whether it be on another boat or it be in the kayaks, and be able to see nothing but
Coastline and rocks
coastline,
and
you know,
cliffs
trees,
and-
wildlife, in the natural.
Well, there is there's a little small campground that we saw on the banks of the White River, in the 2 towns over, I think. And I
Oh,
wouldn't
yeah.
mind checking that out once we get moved out of the moved into the tiny house and get the camper about 10,000 pounds less. Then, you know, we might just take a weekend and shoot over to this little campground and be right there on the river. You know, the nervous Nelly in me says, well, let's just go to a regular livery and utilize their tour so we can get to know the rivers, because we're not sport kayakers. We're
Let the current take you.
and drink a beer on
yeah.
the way down. You know, that's
I don't want anything rough enough to spill the beer cooler.
Yeah.
Like, that's, I mean, and if we were going, and I done it as a kid, well, you know, high schooler, went out to Colorado and did whitewater rafting, and that was fun. And if I'm going to deliberately do something like that, then great. But our typical, hey, we're on the water just to
experience.
listen to the
beauty.
water, to, you know, listen to the birds and the, you know, I think every time we went down the river when we were back up north, like,
It never got old.
it didn't. We always seen some sort of a creature that we hadn't seen
Eagles,
before.
deer.
We always seen there was 2 bald eagles that stayed right around the lake and up and down the river there. And we seen them just about every single time, whether it be out on the lake or going down the river. And baby deer, you know, fawns with their spots still just laid up in a spot that their mom put them protected. And, you know, we had kayaked up into a cove and got to see them. And, you know, raccoons in the holes of trees with their babies, just like, hey, don't mess with us. And they don't mind. Like, you're floating quietly. And, you know, we definitely have discovered up there, you know, we like the fact with us having our schedules of being retired and not having jobs.
Well,
that-
even when I was working, I made my own schedule. I was on a awesome corporate contract type thing, and so we would end up going throughout the week
yeah.
versus that weekend party crew, because our river was a recreational river, so and lake, and so when everyone else is working during the week, there would be times we'd take the whole 5-6 hours on the river and we wouldn't see a single person.
And that's what I remind her, you know, when we have to go to town or something, we always go right by the boat launch. And, you know, during the week, there's 1, maybe 2 trucks with trailers, you know, you barely see a boat. And of course, we're on such a small portion of the lake that, you know, there's so much more. I mean, when we went and drove and seen that little campground,
Yeah, I'm gonna check out that sandbar too.
you know, we talked to somebody and they were, we met a couple at the veterans thing. And they said that there's supposed to be a big, like, party sandbar, you know, that's packed during the weekends, which great. And I'm not saying we wouldn't be out there in a weekend, but we're typically weekday goers. you have less boats out there. Like when we get
Less
on the
people,
water,
yeah.
it's a relax and chill
Oh,
time.
she found your caterpillar.
And it took her long enough. And so,
And we don't know if we're gonna get another boat. Some friends of ours from the campground, Amy and Corey, they're buying our pontoon so that we don't have to bring it back, which is great for them. But I tell you, it was a hard pill to swallow to see them moving our deck over to their spot.
looks good though.
Because they took our deck too from our site, and I almost shed a tear. I'm gonna miss the river. Like, of all the things in Michigan, besides kids, it's gonna be the river that is the hardest pill to swallow.
Yeah, that access all the time. I mean,
And our
because we've
friends
even
there.
looked down here on our adventure to the campground. We found a marina, which I didn't know was over there. But down here, the way it works with Army Corps of Engineers was you can't have private docks. Very few and far between, I guess. I don't want to say you can't, but it's like pulling hen's teeth, I guess, to get if you own private land on there. So, but they have approved stations throughout, any body of water that's large enough to put docks and marinas up, and
Huge marina.
they'll put them up. So they're typically pretty big, and you rent a slip, and we couldn't find prices on it, but what we've been told, and it's pretty pricey to have a dock slip, and we live close enough to our nearest launch that it's convenient, nice as it was like last year to have the pontoon already on the water. Just all I had to do was literally unhook 2 clips and fire up the motor, and boom, we were on our way. But it's not that hard and difficult to launch and retrieve the boat. So,
and we work as a team really well. So we had no problems launching either boat, whether it was a
Right.
speedboat or the pontoon. We did it together, and I would do what I needed to do, and I'd pull it in, latch it up. I mean, he would do the truck. So we easily were launching both types of boats, whether it's a regular boat or a pontoon. We did it together, and we're kind of masters. Got really good at it. So not concerned about that. Although this is a
No.
pretty steep boat launch.
it's not any worse than anywhere else, really.
Well, okay. We need to wrap this up because I'm really missing the water, and it's a beautiful day, and I want to be on the water now. So
But yeah, so we'll go find us some breakfast. We done.
find us.
We were
Find? You mean the wife's gonna go in and spend the next hour cooking you an amazing breakfast?
Why did it take you an hour? Some fresh dippy eggs she's been keeping. So we have a few of the hens are laying. They're whompers, man.
Massive, yeah.
So we'll have some dippy eggs and bacon. Probably some homemade bread toast.
All right. That sounds like a plan.
All right. Well,
Till next time.
that's all of our chatting for today. We'll see you tomorrow.